All right, hey out there from Badger Rock. We are really excited to have Jasmine Banks here as part of our virtual holiday community workshop series. So, Jasmine, you want to introduce yourself and tell us just whatever you want to share?
Absolutely. So first of all, thank you for having me. I'm super excited. Number one, to be part of the Badger Rock family, but also to be here to just kind of like DIY stuff, right? So I'll tell you a little bit about me. I have been in Madison. I like to tell people my family's been here for 5 generations, from my grandpa all the way to my grandchildren. Um, Community is huge to me. I have a day job at Operation Fresher, where I'm a program manager. And then my dream job, I always say, is my business, Perfect Imperfection 608. So I'm here to show you a couple things that maybe other people can utilize or give as gifts to their loved ones.
Yeah.
So, and it's pretty easy. I don't think anything that I'm going to make today has more than 3 ingredients. So here we go. I'm
That's
ready
good.
whenever you are.
And I love, Jasmine, you were talking about how you got started just by thinking of what you wanted to give for holiday gifts. So that's beautiful. And you want to talk a little bit more about your business and where people could find your products and kind of how that started too?
Absolutely. So my business is called Perfect Imperfection 608. I started it 6 years ago. It'll be 6 years in February, believe it or not. I started it after the passing of my mom from uterine cancer. I started to research the different ingredients that we find on our toiletries, like everyday things that we use, such as like toothpaste and deodorant and soap. So I started to make my own. I actually started with my own toothpaste, and I did a mine versus theirs series on Facebook. And so it would be the ingredients of the things that I had previously used, like an over-the-counter toothpaste, and then the ingredients that I put in my new toothpaste, my own do-it-yourself toothpaste. And my girlfriend started to ask me, like, okay, how much do you sell your items for? And I was like, oh no, I don't sell them. It's just more to share that information, right? Because I truly believe that we should be sharing the knowledge that we obtain. And enough girlfriends asked me that I gathered some girlfriends, and I said, let's have a pop-up, like a bazaar. And so 6 years ago, we went to the Urban League. I think it was about 10 girlfriends of mine who are all crafters and creators. And I had 2 items. It was soap and it was sugar scrub. And I sold out. And then I was like, okay, so maybe this can be a business. And then from there, the rest is history. It just seemed to be where folks in the community were either offering me to do a pop-up with them, or putting me in the direction of different resources in the community that will help start a business. And so those programs were both Upstart, and then somebody also, which is an amazing program for anybody who's interested, you definitely should look that up. And then the Madison Public Market. And so my favorite story about the Madison Public Market was when somebody suggested that I look into it, I was thinking to myself, I'm not nearly there as a business owner. I didn't really know where I wanted my business to go, but I didn't feel like I was ready for that. And so out of fear and nervousness, I ended up waiting until like the second to last info session, and it was at the Urban League. This gentleman was standing in front of the room, and he was talking about the Madison Public Market, what the Market Ready program would offer, and everything he said, I thought, I need that. And so I applied, and 5 years later, 4 years, or 3 years later actually, they, I want to say 2020, they talked about the first 5 businesses that will be in the Madison Public Market, and I just happen to be one of them. So I'm super excited about that.
Yeah, so y'all go check out the Madison Public Market. And we'll also put a link to Perfect Imperfection 608 so y'all can check them out. Check out Jasmine's beautiful products. I've bought some of them myself. They're really lovely.
Thank you.
And they're great gifts.
Well, thank you, Sarah. And
Yeah.
yep, so you can find me online at perfectimperfection608.org, or also in Little Luxuries downtown.
Got you. Yeah. And Jasmine is also a Badger Rock community gardener.
Yes.
So we get the pleasure of seeing Jasmine a lot around here. She's one of my all-time favorite people in this universe.
Thank you.
So Jasmine, what are we making today?
All right, so we're going to make a vanilla extract. And I have to say that once you make your own vanilla extract, you will never purchase over-the-counter vanilla extract again. My favorite thing. We're also going to make a rosemary salt, so I'm super excited about that. And then we are going to make a lemon extract for people who are bakers, right? Because there's so many different types or varieties of extract, and I think it's the quality is so better, so much better, so different when you make your own. So, and then we're also going to make a sugar scrub.
Okay.
All right.
Exciting.
So we're going to start with the vanilla extract, and what you need is you need some vanilla beans. I'm not a measurer. I just kind of like to, whatever my heart feels or wants to put in it. So we're going to start with vanilla beans. What you want to do, and I'm going to move this bowl. So the two ingredients are vanilla beans and vodka. This happens to be 100 proof vodka, and it's only because I'm currently in an herbal class and we're doing tinctures. And so it needed to be 100 proof, but your vodka does not need to be 100 proof.
And where can you find vanilla beans?
You can find vanilla beans. I actually got these at Costco.
Perfect.
So you can find them at Costco. You can find them at, like, there's a store called Vanilla Bean. So different, like, probably can find them at any grocery store.
Yeah.
Yep. And it doesn't, there's varieties of vanilla beans. I just get whatever I can find. So what you want to do, depending on your size of your jar, I like to always cut my vanilla beans in half. And then what you want to do, which is not always easy, you're going to slice it. I don't know if you can see that.
Yep.
And I'm probably not doing like a technique. Alright. So some people will scrape the vanilla beans out. Or the beans, they will scrape them so you can see that. Some people will actually scrape the beans out. I don't.
They're so little.
They are, right?
Yeah.
And you can also make vanilla paste, which is pretty cool, out of vanilla beans. So whatever jar somebody has at home, you just fill the jar, and then you just put your beans in there. And you want to make sure that the lid is going to be airtight. So again, you want to make sure that your beans are cut open. And you can seal those. And you're just going to stick it in there. Super easy. Because what's going to happen is the vanilla from the vanilla bean is actually going to extract into the vodka. If you go to the grocery store, look at the ingredients on the back of vanilla.
It's usually alcohol, some kind of alcohol and vanilla beans, right?
It is, yep.
There it is.
And the funny thing is, you know, growing up, there's a certain type of spice that my mother used to always use. And so you think I think it's interesting how we think that things can only be, we can't make our own.
Yeah.
Right? And so that's my favorite, when you find something that's really easy, and then you realize it's only two things, alcohol and a vanilla bean. Alright, so then what you want to do is you want to close your lid. And you can put it either like in a brown paper bag or in like a cupboard and let it sit for 6 weeks.
6 weeks.
And then, so 6 weeks will be your minimum.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're going to go from this to this.
Look at that. And you can see the color change and everything.
Mm-hmm. And I don't like to, some people also will strain their beans. I like to leave the beans in. When you run out, you can always just continue to refill. So you can continue to use the same beans for quite some time.
Okay.
And just refill it. Yep.
Good to know. So that'll go a while.
And then I'll show you. So this is, I gifted folks some of these. So I try to buy like a really cute bottle. I leave the vanilla beans in there so they know what it is. And let me see. So I would do something like this. And I'm going to pronounce this wrong. I think it's wasabi tape or wasabi tape. And I would just write, you know, like vanilla bean. Or vanilla extract. And then you can put the date on it.
Does it keep pretty much forever, or do you have to get rid of it at some point?
Nope, it pretty much keeps forever. Because alcohol does not expire.
Yeah.
And then like there's your gift.
That's so simple and so beautiful.
Yeah.
And so useful.
Yeah, right. And that's the thing, right? We want to make sure that we're giving people, I think for me, things that people are going to use versus like sit on a shelf.
Yeah.
And then go into a landfill. But I'll get off that soapbox. Because it's easy to get on. So yeah, so this is vanilla extract.
That's awesome. I love that. Look how pretty that is too. Wow.
All right. So we're going to do the same with lemon. And you guys are so nice to join me with this because it's my first time. But what I do know is you're going to use the peel. You're not going to use the actual meat of the lemon. You're just going to use the peel.
And you all, we will be raffling off some ingredients for each of these different crafts too, different body care products. If you watch this video and you share it on your own Facebook page, we will be putting names in a raffle, and then we will get in touch with people after the workshop and let you know if you won a kit.
Woohoo! That's pretty nice. And one of the reasons why I wanted to do a lemon extract is to show all of the like amazing bakers that we have in the community how easy it is to make your own.
And you know what, that's so cool because a lot of times people just pitch the peel of a lemon, you squeeze it, and then you just toss the rest of it. So this is a use for that rest of it.
Right. And I will be using the rest of this lemon. I'll make a lemon tart today when I get home.
Ooh, so you have
yeah.
to bring some over to Badger Rock.
Absolutely. And I'm all about like easy and limited ingredients.
Yeah. And so Jasmine doesn't really measure like many of us, but we're going to put a recipe with just a guideline of measurements you could use if you are a measurement person and you want to try this at home.
Absolutely.
So we'll post those in the comments of the video.
I like to do like the old-fashioned style when it's like, how much do you use? It's like, oh, a pinch of that, a pinch of this.
Yeah.
And again, depending on the size of your jar, is what you want to use. And just kind of eyeball it. And also you can use a grater. So so people don't have to like peel it. You can use a grater, but I just think that peels look so pretty.
Just like a cheese grater?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. And again, what we're going to do is just fill it. And I like to use vodka, but you can also use different kinds of, so brandy, some people use, or rum, some people will use. But I just think it looks really pretty.
Oh, and it smells so good.
Doesn't it?
Yes.
And again, this is something that you're going to sit for 6 weeks and let the lemon from the peel extract into the vodka.
And then do you like to leave your peels in there too, or is there something you would take out?
I like to leave the peels in there because again, I think it's just for aesthetics and I think it looks really pretty. So yeah, and again, it's something that's super easy and inexpensive, and anybody can do it. And the funny thing is, I think I forgot my string, but I'm gonna tape it so it looks kind of nice.
Oh, so you might put string around the top and dangle a little card from that?
Mm-hmm. And then I like to date it because then it reminds me of the 6 weeks, the window.
Oh yeah, yep.
And so since I don't have, let's see if that works.
beautiful.
Thank you. And you can use any jar. You know, you can use like an old like spice jar, mayonnaise jar. So you can use any jar.
And you said these are not the extracts are not things you sell with your business, right?
They are not. Nope. So I don't sell food products, but I like to make them and give them as gifts.
Yeah.
So to all the folks that sell food products, bless you. Because I think it's amazing.
It's a lot more hoops to jump through, huh?
It is. Ooh, it
or
is.
different hoops. Yeah.
It is. It is. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do is make a rosemary salt. With a rosemary salt, you can use it with anything. So anything that you salt your food with, you could use a rosemary salt. And again, it's all about the extraction and making a flavored salt. And you can use any type of herb that you want.
I have a recipe for rosemary roasted potatoes that has been a big hit with students
love it.
here.
That sounds delicious.
Yeah.
So a couple of things. You could, if you have like not a blender, like a processor, you could always make these smaller. So you could process the rosemary if you wanted to. But I just think it looks so pretty, just the big sprigs. So what I like to do is just take them off of the stem. And I'll fill part of the jar with it.
Ooh, between the vanilla and the lemon and the rosemary, it smells so good.
Doesn't it?
Yes. It's
And
like therapeutic just to make these things too.
And then I like to just fill it a little bit with the salt. Put my lid on it and shake it up. And then I'll add more. And again, it's as much or as little as you want it to be. But I come from a family where my mother loved her children with food. So I like to make sure that I have like enough.
Yeah.
And then the same thing. So what you want to do is make sure that you're going to let this sit for about 6 weeks. And you can always, 6 weeks is not the limit. It's usually the minimum because you want the volatile oils in the rosemary to be able to extract into the salt.
Yeah.
And I have kosher salt, but you could use table salt. It doesn't have to be kosher salt.
I love all the different colors too.
Yeah. And again, I think even these are great gifts for like teachers.
Yeah.
Like when people want to give like gifts to teachers or their neighbor, it's something that's easy and not very expensive.
Yeah.
You know?
And you can grow your own rosemary in a pot in your house if you want to.
I love it. Absolutely.
I don't know about vanilla beans. I've never tried.
That's a good question. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if we have the right climate, right?
I think it would have to be inside for
Yeah.
sure, or someplace.
And two, for the folks that are out there that like more than just one, like you can put sage in here too, or mint, and kind of shake it up and make it however you want it. So there you go. That's your rosemary salt. And again, just let it sit for about 6 weeks and put it in a nice jar, you know. And if you wanted to, you could always even write on the jar. I'm gonna see how this works. It's not working very well, so we won't do that.
And if you're like me and you don't have good handwriting,
I
you could
love it.
you could print out a label.
That's right. That's right. So there we go.
Oh.
And the interesting thing is, it's not a lot of time either.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot of cleanup, which is like my favorite. Alright. Oh, this smells so good.
It does.
Over here. And then lastly, we're going to make a brown sugar scrub.
And this would be like for the bath kind of thing?
Yep, so you're going to exfoliate your skin with it.
Yeah.
Yep. And again, I always say look at, so there's brown sugar scrubs that you can buy over the counter. Look at the ingredients of those brown sugar scrubs. There's nothing that's going to go bad in here, but there's so many different chemicals to preserve what's on the shelf for shelf life.
Yeah.
So make sure that you're reading those. Because our skin, so I'm in an herbal class, and one of the things that I'm learning is how our bodies respond to toxins, like how our body allows us to, or tells us when something's going wrong, right? So whether that's a rash or whether that's, I don't know, any type of reaction. So like if our hair starts to fall out or if we're bloated, there's so many different things, but our body is telling us, when we don't feel good, it's our body's way of telling us something's going on and we need to fix it. So again, just look at the ingredients of the things that you use.
And if you can make your own,
Yep.
why not?
That's it. So I like to just measure based on putting it in the jar that I'm going to use. And that's about, this is 8 ounces actually. And then I have some honey. I accidentally, so I had an order that was 400 sugar scrubs. And I'm not a mathematician by no means. I bought 60 pounds of honey.
Was that too much?
Sarah? I told my sister I'm gonna have to start giving honey away as a gift. I have so much honey. So just for all you people out there who are like, say you don't like math, you might want to figure out like you gotta learn math. You gotta learn to love it, because otherwise you're gonna end up with like 60 pounds of honey and you don't need it. But the one good thing is honey does not expire, it doesn't go bad.
Right.
So, and then again you're gonna use olive oil for the and it doesn't have to be olive oil, it could be any type of carrier oil. So like sunflower oil, coconut oil, it could be any type of oil. If I were following a recipe, it would be 8 ounces of brown sugar, it would be half a cup of olive oil, and then a 1/4 cup of honey. Okay. And then I'll just kind of tilt it a little bit.
It's hard. It's going to be hard to use that for exfoliation and not just eat it with a spoon.
I know. Oh my gosh, I know it, right? Well, and it's funny because I was at an event one time. This is my favorite story. And a customer came up and said, "Could I eat that?" I was like, "You sure could."
Yeah.
You know, but that's the thing. Mother Earth provides everything that we need.
Yeah.
And so you
And
could eat it if you wanted.
If you can eat it, then it's sure to be safe for your skin, huh?
That's right. That's right.
Oh, look at that's beautiful too.
Yep. And then what you want to do is just fill your jar. I think I'm not going to have enough sugar. So I think I measured just a little.
Little under.
Yeah.
Throw some more honey in there.
Oh, there. I should to use up that 60 pounds
Yes.
of honey. Oh, Sarah, it's so funny. It's so heavy. I can't even like move it. So, oh, it's hilarious.
You could start a little mead business on the side.
It's so true. All right. So what I'm gonna do is use my finger. I did wash my hands. So if you run short, right, because again, I didn't measure this, so I'm just going to eyeball it.
I didn't know there was olive oil and sugar scrubs.
Yes. So,
Yeah.
and again, it could be whatever you choose,
Yeah.
but yep.
olive oil itself is good for your skin too,
It
right?
is. And so is honey. Oh, this is not honey.
A little vanilla extract in there will make it smell good.
Oh, it would, and that's, you could add vanilla beans, you could add vanilla extract. You can pretty much add whatever you want.
Do you ever put essential oils in?
I
any of your-
have,
Yeah.
I have, absolutely.
What's your favorite one? Do you have one?
I think my favorite is lavender. I love grapefruit. I used to make, when I first started, I used to make a grapefruit sugar scrub. The one thing with, I think, with brown sugar, which I didn't realize this, brown sugar is only white sugar mixed with molasses. Because again, once you go down that DIY
You
hole, that
learn.
rabbit hole, you start to want to make everything,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and we can. So if I add a scent, I usually use white sugar.
With lavender.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, grapefruit's a good idea too.
Yeah, and it smells so good.
Yeah. Wakes you up a little bit.
It does. Absolutely. Alright. I'm going to use my finger. And there you have it. There is a brown sugar scrub.
Wow.
Which
So
you can-
easy.
Yep, and you can exfoliate your skin, your face.
Yeah.
So I usually tell people, like, I wash my face off, and it just feels good to energize and get your pores open.
Yeah.
And you can do your whole body and the bottom of your feet. Again, it's good for you, and it feels good.
Oh, okay. I know what I'm going to be making for Christmas gifts this year.
I love it. I love it.
For myself.
Right? It's true.
I got my whole Christmas gift for myself
That's right.
list here. So we have the vanilla extract going, and the rosemary salt, the lemon extract, and the brown sugar scrub. And there's that vanilla extract finished.
And let me put labels on these, Sarah,
Yeah.
so then people kind of know, again, what they are.
Yeah. And your labels are just pretty paper?
They are, yep.
Yeah.
So they're just random scraps of paper that I had laying around.
Yep.
Because it's hard for me to justify throwing away like pretty paper.
Yeah.
So then I just have scraps, and especially like for my grandkids when they come over,
Yeah.
and they have something to use. It's great for projects. Alright, so there's the vanilla extract. Rosemary salt.
Extract. And what are some of the other things that you sell with your business?
Absolutely. So I sell whipped body butters. I sell body oils. A lot of people think they're essential oils, but they're not. I haven't gotten to that level yet where I'm extracting oils. I have lip balms and neck and eye pillows, and what else? I feel like I have a whole line. I make a brown sugar scrub. I also make lip balms. So yeah, so it's and a lotion bar is another thing. I have a rose water toner, which is wonderful once you've again exfoliated your skin, and even as an antiseptic or to set your makeup. Yeah. So I make those things. Let's see here.
And you make them all in your own kitchen.
I do.
So if you want to support a for real, small scale, home run business, this is the one. This is one of the ones.
Thanks, Sarah.
Jasmine, these are so beautiful and useful.
Oh,
I love them.
Thank you.
I am excited. I know I'm excited to try these at home, and I hope y'all watching out there are also excited to try them. So we'll post just a rough recipe for each one in the comments after this video, and where you can find Jasmine's products.
Perfect. Thanks, Sarah, for having me.
Thank you so much.
It's been fun.
Yeah, let's do it again sometime.
Sounds good. Thank you.